He was the scariest player for at least 2 years. But at WCA he was disappointing. Right after, at PGL, he was very, very strong again, winning that tournament. Pretty convincingly, actually. Which Infi is gonna be showing up for the playoffs here. He showed some weakness before. He lost to Remind, so he didn't win his group. Fly did win his group. And we already saw this game also at WCA in the upper bracket, I think it was, where Fly demolished Infi, absolutely destroyed him. Fly banning Twisted, Turtle Rock banned by Infi, Ancient Isles also banned by Infi, and Tyrannus Stand banned by Fly. But yeah, this the last encounter those two had, Fly ripped him apart across like 18 minutes, across 2 games. He just absolutely destroyed him. There was not a shred of Infi left. Is Infi now phased by this? Does he maybe even have a mental block? Infi, who considers himself to be one of the best players in the world, along with TH basically, having been destroyed in such fashion by an orc of all races. There's only one orc in the world who can hang with the best of them, and that is of course Fly. All other orcs pale in comparison. And he's the world champion at the moment. I think WCA has more prestige and more relevance than PGL had. So right now actually we have 2 champions against each other. Fly, the champion of WCA, Infi, the champion of PGL. Again, it happened right after. It was an invite-only tournament. I think it was 8 players that were invited. And Infi was able to take it. Fly, he won the big one, the WCA. Echo Isles will be the first map. And if I was Neo, I would right now say maybe this is gonna be a repeat of the WCG game of I don't know when. When Fly stole the mercenary creep camp, last hits with its Blade Master, 3 of 4 or something, and then it was immediately GG. But back then I think it was Mountain King first, and Mountain King first I haven't seen against Orc in a very, very, very long time. It is most certainly gonna be the Archmage. Or is it? Maybe Infi wants to use something new? Nope, he doesn't. He sticks with the AM. And of course, the Blade Master. By the way, people are saying that there's gonna be a balance patch coming for Warcraft 3. And if there is, I can only imagine that certain heroes are gonna be buffed. Also, stuff is gonna get nerfed. I think the Bolt, for example, the Stormbolt, is one of the obvious things, as well as maybe the Mana Burn. But I think if buffs are gonna be happening, Farseer is gonna be one of the receiving heroes. And I would really like to see that. I think Farseer is a very cool hero. He was, of course, the standard a long time ago. Not anymore, though. Fly in this matchup oftentimes likes to skip the Boots of Speed to save as much money as humanly possible to be preventing those tier 2 tower rushes. The tier 2 tower rushes are the Night Elf, the Chinese humans' #1 strategy to go for against Orc. And Yaws, against whom Fly was struggling so heavily, never really did those strategies, and he was caught off guard by them. Yaws always went for the one base play for a strong and solid army for map control. Very much so unlike the Chinese humans. And now both players are moving across the map to the towards their opponents. But Fly, he's trying to find the human right now, and he's successful in doing so. The Grunt sees the movement, and the Blade Master's catching up, and of course, what we see so often in this matchup, simultaneous creeping for the human, and he's gonna get level 2 from this. By the way, claws have been bought by the Blade Master. Well, I'm not sure, claws or circlet, one of the two, at the marketplace. So he is in fact going to invest into his Blade Master early on, not going to save all the money possible against the tower rush. The possible tower rush. And he's also getting the boots of speed right now, as it looks. Is he? Yep, there we go. So this is not the Fly that was making these huge waves. Oh, nice surround by the way there on the water elemental. That is Fly's specialty, using 3 or 4 grunts to surround stuff. But it's only a water elemental, so it's not that big of a deal. And the Blade Master would love to find the Archmage right now, because of this being Echo Isles, and there only being one pair of boots of speed. Right now the Archmage has to be pretty scared of the Blade Master, because he can be run down. Very nice grunt positioning again. And he's trying to go for the 4 units around. We can't really see it right now. If he got it on the water elemental, he did not. But yeah, Fly was definitely expecting the Archmage to be coming from the south, and he finds the second footman pickoff here, and he hasn't taken any damage so far. He hasn't lost a burrow in construction. I don't think he had to repair. He did have to put a few peons into the burrow to be throwing spears, but that's it. So far, absolutely perfect defense from Fly. If he doesn't lose a grunt here, it's the perfect early game for him. And it doesn't look like he's going to. He has reached tier 2, he's getting his second hero. And by the way, a very late shop. I only noticed this now. The shop from Fly was extremely late. So that's where he got the extra resources for the boots and the second item that he bought from the marketplace. And we see the Blood Mage. The hero that has only really been coming back into the meta game, I would say, the last 3 months, maybe 4 months. And of course the player to thank for this is Reprisal, the king of the Blood Mage. Hawk likes to use it now, Yaws likes to use it now, and now also Infi likes to use it. And with there being a Blood Mage and no Beastmaster, I don't think it's going to be a tower rush on tier 2. Also the the Archmage, excuse me, is very far away from level 3. There are militia coming, this might be for creeping. Nope, it's not. It's for attacking. So I guess in the end it's still going to be the tower rush. But with no extra summons, nice peon scout by the way, seeing this coming. But with no extra summons from the Beastmaster, and no level 3 on the Archmage, I'm not so convinced that this is gonna be very strong. Is he gonna be able to cancel a tier 2 building? I think it should be too late. We see one in construction right there. I think that was Spirit Lodge. And here come the towers. No ivories, just good old power build. To the very top of the Orc base. When is Fly gonna decide to engage? He has 4 grunts. Immediate siphon mana onto the Blade Master. Only 1 Windwalk remaining. He was being drained a lot of mana here. 3 water elementals. That's of course thanks to all the transferred over mana from the Blood Mage. And now the Blade Master's out of mana. But he's still dangerous. He's slowed, however, he's being kited. So many water elementals. Is this the new thing? Is this a new strategy? Just screw it, I don't need level 2 water elementals, I just need a lot of level 1 water elementals. And Fly. He's of course the king of this tower defense. Funnily enough, he's not defending against towers, he's defending against the towers, so in the end I guess it's still a tower defense. He has double walkers. Does he even have a bestiary? We don't see any raiders just yet. He might not want to have one to waste resources. He might want to have all the resources for demolishers later on, but without Ensnare can be tough. 2 guard towers are up already. Blade Master is finally gonna find a kill, and here we have the first raider. Seems like that one's very late, But now the Blade in trouble. There's no healing wave yet. There's no catapult yet. The barracks is producing something. Must be a demolisher. The Altar of Storms is going to be falling quickly, but that's not really too big of a deal. If the Orc loses a hero, he probably has lost the game anyways, regardless of there being an altar or not. Blood Mage, excuse me. So many BM heroes. Was kind of out of position right there. But yeah, maybe Fly's decision to go for the circlet and the boots wasn't the best. Maybe he should have gone for his fast war mill with a Kodo and headhunters, which made him so strong in the defense against towers. The Demolisher comes out right now, slightly out of position, but gets back in time. One Borrow has already fallen, but now come the range shots. He doesn't want to lose that second Borrow. He is supply stuck already. If he loses the second one, he's going to be supply stuck forever. The Blade Master in serious danger of dying. 7 HP, I think, right there for a second. Gets the heal wave, though, in the end. Oh, Water Elemental microed back very well. Not gonna die unless the Demolisher gets a good hit in. And it seems like having the early walkers, he didn't really cast any towers with them. The Demolisher was kind of late, so was the Raider. The Boots of Speed, I think, were not the best investment here. He took so little damage from the early game, but still. Also, it seemed kind of hesitant from Fly. Maybe he just should have committed right away when the towers were coming up, but he certainly knows better than me. I mean, when he has like 3 Demolishers, everything's still possible. He has one at the moment. A second one is definitely going to be coming out. And there's no level 2 water elementals just yet. Keep this in mind. The level 2 water elementals are what are most dangerous against Demolishers. You just send them in and they take so much damage. Is there gonna be a next Demolisher coming? 50 supply already. 50 supply for the Orc. I wonder where is it all? Well, 8 of it is in the Demolishers. And he would love to get another one. Probably has also quite a few peons to have to be able to repair all of this. 46 supply for the human. Now finally breakers are going to be joining the battlefield. And Fly engages once more, gets one sorceress for free. But, well, for free is the wrong word actually to use here. He takes quite a bit of damage in return. Using the ground attack, of course, on the Demolishers to be slowly chipping away at those peasants. But with priests being able to heal, this is not really gonna work out too well by the looks of it. And this is the slow choke that we're used to seeing from the humans. He loses another Borrow, he loses the barracks. No more new Demolishers. And now the stronghold is in jeopardy. 4 guard towers putting out quite a bit of damage. And the human army is actually looking pretty strong behind it. How can Fly hope to kill all of this off? I'm not sure what's the recipe to success here. 50 supply now. First time in the game that the the human has a supply advantage. Losing another Raider here. But he might... Oh, the Blade Master! Healing potion keeps him alive. Also the speed scroll to help him escape. I think he may have gotten one of the guard towers, but now the Shredders, the Demolishers, horribly out of position. And one will certainly fall. And that means only one Demolisher for the rest of the game, most likely, because there is no more barracks. Blade Master, another speed scroll, trying to keep him alive, but no, he's being blocked by everything. The Blade Master dies. So does the Demolisher, and I think that has to be curtains. Yes, absolutely, that's it. GG. Infi takes the first game. Surprising us a little bit with the Blood Mage, but in the end, sticking to his guns and going for the tower rush. and Fly not going for the early warmer, not going for the early Kodo or Berserkers, but getting the circlet and boots rather. The style that he went away from, but now is going back to, it didn't look too successful right here. So, what's the next map gonna be? Tyrannus is out, Turlrock is out, and Twisted is out, so that leaves us with Ancient Isles and Amazonia. I think. I'm forgetting one veto right now, I think. In his interviews, the makeup is pretty substantial. By the way, what I heard when I was over in China is that they are gonna be changing their, what do you call it? Education policy. Last Refuge, of course. Their education policy. So starting next year, English is gonna be mandatory in schools. That's anyways what I was told. So that means that esports in, let's say, 10 years is gonna be a lot more accessible for non-Chinese in China, because they're gonna be able to speak English. I guess there's gonna be casting everything in Chinese, but still, at least you're gonna be able to communicate with them, because when you're in China, it's really hard to find anyone who speaks English, and decent English even harder. We were actually blessed with Cody, who was helping us so much at WCA. His nickname is Silence, but it actually doesn't fit him at all. He talks a lot. He really likes to talk. I mean, I love that guy, but there were moments when I was just... I was kind of hoping he would keep quiet for a minute. Like after the second day of casting, I think it was, we were so tired, Neo and myself. We were so incredibly tired at WCA. When we rode home in the cab, we almost fell asleep. Just, you know, sitting there, having a few moments for to ourselves. A few moments of quiet. We were so exhausted we almost fell asleep in the cab. But Cody, he was sitting in front, but because of course he was the one being able to talk to the cab driver. He was telling us about Chinese airlines. So we flew with a Chinese Southern airline, and he kept on going on how that airline is so bad, the Chinese Southern one, because the leg space of Chinese airlines is usually 30 inches, but Chinese Southern airline only has 28 inches. So that's very bad. So Chinese Southern Airlines is a really bad airline. What he really likes is the Chinese Central airline, because they have an average of 32 inches of leg space. And this was very, very invigorating for him to talk about. I think we heard about leg space in airlines for a good, I don't know, 20 minutes. Didn't know there was so much to talk about. But still, Cody, man, in the end it's kind of a little funny story. Cody, I love that guy. Without him, it would have been an absolute disaster. So, a million thanks to him. And by the way, actually, I don't know if we guys told you, and if we were supposed to tell you, but who gives a fuck, right? So, last year we didn't get paid anything for casting WCA, which was okay. We didn't expect to get paid. We were given the flight and the hotel, and that was amazing. And this year, we weren't expecting to get paid either, right? So Cody asked us there, how much are you guys getting paid? And we're like, nothing. Nothing. We just get the flight and the hotel, and that's cool. And he's like, what? You guys work so much, and Fanta Fiction and Ted, they get so much money for casting. It's not, it can't be possible that you guys get nothing. And we're like, dude, it's okay. We just like to be here. And he's like, no. That's not possible. So then he goes over to the WCA guys and says like, hey, what's going on? You're not paying back to Warcraft anything. And they're like, I guess so. And then Cody kind of forced his hand and said, alright, you have to pay these guys this and this much. And now I think we're gonna get paid. So according to Cody and according to the WCA guys, now we are going to get paid. And that's all thanks to Cody. He didn't only make it possible for us to communicate with people, he didn't only save us a million headaches, he also got us paid in the end. So this is the little tribute to Cody here. And now we can finally go into the game. Sorry for blabbering on here. But so far nothing much has happened. Now Infi is going on the offensive, and now Fly, unlike in the first game, is actually going to be taking damage. He's going to be losing one Burrow in production. But Fly, kind of expecting this, already produced another Burrow. So with two being in production, it's safe that one of them actually finishes. And in fact, we see right here, both of them will finish. And those two Burrows, as we can see, very, very far forward. Of course, again, against the potential tower rush. Level 2 now for the Archmage, thanks to simultaneous creeping. This is yeah, what we're used to seeing from this matchup. This is pretty much what we saw in the first game. And now the Archmage does not have the boots, but does have the staff. Blade Master does have the boots, which means the Archmage needs to get the fuck out. But not very far away. He only wants to get the boots himself at the opposing shop. Very standard. But he's gonna take a lot of damage here. One hit, two. Does he have a speed scroll? I don't think so. Now he again neglected the shop. And forced to use the TP is the Archmage. So that's a good little use right there. And now the Archmage is still low. Did he TP inside his main? No, he didn't. Oh, the main is open actually. And he's trying to hide. The Blade Master is coming from the left. This is a thriller. This is like Psycho, the old classic. Oh, the killer is trying to look for his prey, but no, he doesn't actually see it. Oh my god. He was standing in the corner. It was nighttime. I know he was too far away, or he's like, you know, blocking the vision with a corner there, but now he sees, holy shit, the base is open, what is this? And this is gonna be free peasants, maybe. Maybe not though. Does he have mana to get out? That's the question. I'm not sure, but he should be able to get the time to get the mana. And there is a dust on the human side, so he needs to be a little bit careful with his HP. Oh, we can see there's no mana. He's 12 mana short. Oh, this could be the Blade Master death. He was so close to killing the AM. Now he might be dying himself. 6 mana short. 5 mana short. He's dropping so low. 3 mana, 2. But remember, there's a dust. There's a dust. Windwalk. Where's the dust? He's not there because the grunts are driving away the Archmage. Holy shit. This is so well done. This is so well done from both sides. Oh, but the Blade Master, he's not running away. Infi was expecting the blade to be running away in fear because of low HP. But woohoo! Holy crap! This game, man. Alright, again it's the Blood Mage. Again it's the mass water elementals. But this time, Blood Mage is so incredibly low HP. It's not like he can run across the map immediately. One hex and speed scroll would be his instant demise. And the Orc taking quite a big creep camp here. He's going to take a lot of damage from this come on stream. Don't crap out on me. But he knows that he has a little bit of time right now because the Archmage is so low. So now he can take a camp that will put him in low HP. I'm sorry, this stream is having frame issues right now. This is not on your end. This is a Chinese stream. That's of course the danger of rebroadcasting a stream, restreaming a stream. Okay, I think I have to restart this. Doesn't seem to be doing anything anymore. Okay. Come on, bro. Don't leave me hanging. This is not good. Alright, let's try out all the browsers. Speaking of browsers, I heard that Microsoft is finally gonna kill their Internet Explorer, which is of course long overdue. Fuck. That's why I hate fucking restreaming, man. Sometimes the stream just craps out and you can do nothing, and you stand there with... well, with nothing. Like an idiot. Come on, buddy. Oh, wait. Come on, one of these has to work. I'm sorry, guys. It's not really my fault, but I still feel a little silly. Oh! There we go! Fucking finally. Still spiking like crazy. But we have a stream. Kind of. Alright, so it seems like for the first time in what feels like a long time, Infi is not going for the tower rush. We are now well into the mid-game. The Blade Master is level 3. He found the Warsong Battle Drums from the big red camp. He is at 50 supply, and I assume his SH is at level 3 as well. Yes, he is. And the human is staying fairly defensively on his side of the map. And Fly sees his attempt. Oh, he had to use the invo right there to get out of a possible surround, I guess. That's quite a big loss, actually. Having to use the invo before the fight starts. And now here comes the creepjack, though. This is a really risky position for the human. Does he have a TP to get out? Yes, he does. He gets the TP, he gets the item, and he gets out. But the item is not very rewarding. It is the crystal ball. The #1 useless item in Warcraft, I think. Like, if anyone says, talks about shitty items, it's the crystal ball. I don't know how to get my point across right now, but you might understand what I'm saying. But he's coming in right away. Once more. This is of course a beautiful position for the human because it's such a narrow choke. So this is really not where Fly wants to fight. Right now he's in a bit of more open ground. We have Blizzard, we have Siphon Mana. Level 3 on both human heroes, I think. Maybe even level 4 on the Archmage. And Fly keeps on running away. Doesn't want to have to fight against the militia. And this right now is open ground. This is much better for the Orc. 59 supply, and here goes the engagement. Immediately Ensnare onto the Archmage, but the Banish keeps him safe. Getting actually rid of the Ensnare. 2 sorceresses coming from the north in a bad position can be easily killed. Nicely cancelling the Blizzard. Never mind, actually. The Ensnare came before the Blizzard. And there's a Wind Rider. That's a pretty cool choice, actually. There's no Bolt to deal with it, or Quill Beasts, or Water Elementals. I really like this Wind Rider choice. She's pretty, or it is pretty much uncontested. But now again the Orc is going forward into the narrow choke. Now the Blood Mage is surrounded, but he has the Banish to keep him safe. But the Disenchant gets rid of the Banish invul now on the Blood Mage. The Orc presses forward. The human army, it seems to be dwindling, unit by unit. Banish again on the Blade Master. Excuse me. The Greater Invul on the Blood Mage is running out, and now he's getting focused. Hex! But the Banish again, keeping him alive. Disenchant coming, Ensnare as well. Is he finally gonna die? Yes, he is. Second hero falls for Infi. Now it's full retreat, but he doesn't have a TP. There's no TP for him to get out of this. Invisibility keeps him alive. There's only one walker. He doesn't have that much dispel anymore. Level 4 for the Blade Master. The Raiders nicely blocking the army And finding a few end snares here and there. Getting one of the breakers, getting another one, and now the Archmage is revealed again, but there's invisibility. Invisibility in spades. But still, the end snares. That's of course the chasing power of the Orc. End snare after end snare after end snare. Blood Mage again revealing himself, but again invisible. This is the last disenchant, I think. Does he have another invisibility? Yes, he does. He probably should have parked a peon at the Goblin Lab by now to be using reveal. But even if he isn't, look at this army. 59 supply. Everything might be kind of low, but the human army damage output isn't that great. Aside from the blizzard. The altar is gone. If he wants to get back the Blood Mage, he has to do so at the tavern. Or get a new altar way in the back of his base. 30 supply! Holy shit! I didn't think it was that bad. 30 supply for the human. 34 now. Yeah, this is looking disastrous, of course, as you guys can see yourselves. This is pretty much impossible to come back from. And Fly, he doesn't even go back to creep level 5, he doesn't want to expand to take it slow and safe. He's just attacking the main. Getting rid of building after building, but now he is getting kind of low. By the way, the Blood Mage has been bought back. We see him at the opponent shop at the moment. An invisible peasant actually bought the Blood Mage at the tavern, which is cool. And the Blood Mage staffed back into the main. Infi is moving out. I guess his one hope right here is, alright, I need to catch the Orc army before he heals up with heal salves and clarities and stuff, and hopefully somehow win a fight. I think that's a good choice, even though his army is tiny in comparison. I think his only chance of winning is right now before the healing kicks in. But now he's making a bit of a detour for the creep camp. I don't like this. I think that's a mistake. I think he should have actually run into the main. And then of course he has to fight against the shop as well, so it's a very tough spot to be in. And there's no breakers here. There's nothing to block. There's nothing against Spirit Link. There's nothing against nothing, man. This is if Infi wins this is gonna be this comeback of not only this year but last year as well. And yeah, still the Orguns are kind of hurt. He didn't buy healing salves by the looks of it. But he's gonna get almost double level 5 right here. And that's when these two heroes get really scary. Infi continues to creep, trying to get back up to 50 supply, but again, I don't know if that's the right thing to do at the moment. There's also an expansion, of course, coming up, which the human player does not know about, I don't think. There's a TP on him. Oh, nicely using Banish to prevent the last hit from the backstab of the Blade Master. SH using so many heal waves, but still, he's looking very healthy in mana. Level 5 now, with a mana potion as well. Level 4.5 for the Blade. Getting a heal scroll in addition to everything else he has. Another Wyvern coming. 66 supply versus 48. I guess the human has kind of caught up, but it's still gonna take a miracle. It's still gonna take a miracle. He's trying to find it in this narrow choke again. Actually, he's not. He's gonna pull the town portal and get out. Maybe Infi's just staying in here to think about the next game. Maybe he knows he has lost this, but he is trying to figure out what he wants to do next game, what he did wrong this game, what he can learn from right now. Oh, and here comes the cutoff. Sorceresses, all the casters basically in a bad position. SH's first Siphon Mana, not really that dangerous. But again, this is a perfect position for the human, this narrow choke. Never where the Orc wants to fight. Alright, this is looking better. Again, broad, open territory. Blood Mage in a horrible position. The Hex comes out, but immediately dispelled. Banish on the Blade Master. Jesus Christ. I'm having problems with these two names. No, stream, please. Don't do this to me. The stream is lagging again, as you guys can see. Militia is not coming from the main. I guess he lost all of his militia before. Archmage, surrounded by a whole bunch of orc units, not taking too much damage, but the Blood Mage now, banish again, saving him. And I guess the human is kind of staying in this, but now the Archmage, banish, just barely keeping him alive. Here comes the dispel, here comes the invisibility, dispel missing! So invisibility is not dispelled, but he comes out of invis again with the blizzard. Level 5 now for the blade. Orc still losing so healthy. Human certainly not, and that's the GG. Yeah, it was basically impossible for the human to win. Unless Fly made many mistakes, but we don't know this guy to be making too many mistakes. Again, he is the world champion, the champion of WCA. And this right here, Infi, is the champion of PGL. The tournament that took place right after WCA. And the last map is gonna be Amazonia. So first game, Tower Rush won Infi the game. Second game, his Archmage took way too much damage. He was caught at the opposing shop, not getting the boots, then taking too much damage, then using the staff to get to his own shop. But there he took even more damage. He was forced to TP afterwards. And then this, after the Blade Master almost died, the stream kind of crapped out for me, unfortunately. But I assume that the human was forced to stay passive, that the orc was able to get up comfortably to his 50 supply and double level 3 heroes. It seems like the Chinese metagame at the moment is mostly centered around crippling the orc early on and then dealing a finishing blow with a Tower Rush before he really hits his stride. What Jaws, for example, tried to do at WCA is against Fly in the Grand Final. He said his #1 goal was to keep Fly guessing, like play different stuff. Play some Blood Mage, play some Beastmaster, play some MK, play a little bit of Tower Rush, play a little bit of Expansion, play some standard map control. But we remember, back then he was kind of hard countered himself with the Wyvern flying into his main on Last Refuge. Jaws, who was so close to winning the game on Turtle Rock, where he had a big advantage, going for a Tower Rush on close positions, but Fly, the king of defending Tower Rushes, held on and turned the game around. But still, even if the miracle didn't happen, even if the foreigner didn't win, it was still a historic moment in Warcraft 3 history. I remember after the grand final, Neo was almost crying. He was kind of crying, he was holding back tears because it was so emotional. It was really cool. It was definitely an experience. The tournament had its difficulties, I would say. Excuse me. But it was most certainly memorable and still a lot of fun. I hope that the next WCA isn't gonna be in winter again, because it was extremely fucking cold, man. It was like minus 12 degrees Celsius. I would much prefer being there in summer. If we ever get to go there again. Which would of course be cool. But we heard that for next year's WCA they plan on cutting a lot of games. And we all know Warcraft is kind of an old game. For all the sponsors and investors, it would be sensible to be cutting Warcraft, of course. But There's Moon now, there's still Fly, so there's still a lot of promotion possibilities for the Chinese audience in terms of Warcraft. And there's other games there, like... I think it was 7 games. I don't even know all of them. There was Crossfire and Dota and... what else? League? Yeah, League was there. And a few others. World of Tanks, of course. And something else. I don't remember. On the last night when we went out drinking, Neo wasn't there because he was feeling kind of under the weather. Again, like last year. But anyways, I went out drinking with the boss of the, not of WCA, but the guy who was in charge of all the production and the, all the, yeah, what do you call it? The TV show basically behind it for the Chinese audience. But he was actually American, which was funny. And we were at the club, and we had to leave the club. And when we went outside, we got to went to get some cigarettes, and I didn't have any more, and he didn't have any more either. And then he gave me as a gift a pack of cigarettes, which were very expensive, because in China it's not like in Europe, where every pack of cigarettes basically is the same cost. There's cigarettes for like €1, so a pack of cigarettes for €1, but there's also packs of cigarettes for like €500. Because in China, cigarette packs or cigarettes can be status symbols. This sounds very weird to us, because in Europe and in the Western culture, status symbols are like cars and houses, and maybe even wives and jobs and stuff. But in China, it's also cigarettes, right? So he buys these 2 packs of cigarettes for himself and for me, and they're really expensive. They're like €30 a pack. And it was, of course, late at night, and I was very drunk. And I leave the cigarettes on the counter in the shop. And when we get back to the hotel, he asks where the cigarettes are. And I, of course, lost them. And he was so pissed at that. So if we don't get to go again, I hope it's not because I forgot the damn cigarettes. Because he was really mad. Because he was like a chronic smoker. He smoked like 2 packs a day or something. And I lost his cigarettes, you know? That he gave me and himself kind of as a gift. So he did get really pissed. So I hope I didn't ruin our chances of getting to WCA 2016 because I forgot some cigarettes on the counter of a shop. Alright. Lots of Remo story time today. Jesus Christ. But again, early game, nothing much has happened yet. The human got level 2 and is going for the offensive again. But once more, Fly is not taking too much damage here, but I don't think he has a level 2 blade himself. But he does have the 4 grunts. Game 1 he did the 1 grunt, the 1 borrow tech, resulting in a few grunts. No, wait. No, that was earlier, that was a focus in the Night Elf game. Never mind, never mind. I'm sorry. But yeah, Blade Master we see, he did get the boots of speed. I don't think he bought the circlet, I think he found it, but who knows? And he's gonna try to get a footman. He's gonna be successful in doing so, and that's gonna be his level 2 or almost level 2. And we see a second hero at the tavern. So this time it is the Beastmaster, and the Blade Master is quite a bit away from the main. He's running back right now. He should be in time. And the Bestiary is far out on the map. He's going for the Archmage right away, but quick reactions by Infi, pulling him away. SH will also be out very shortly. But still quite a bit of footman and summon action going on. The Bestiary is safe. The Spirit Lodge, not so much. Spirit Lodge is very, very low. But the human doesn't really want to go in there, by the looks of it. No, he's retreating. So it seems like, again, Fly takes no damage from this. He also got the War Mill. And of course, the Beastmaster is the #1 indicator that there's going to be a tower rush coming. Blade Master gets the next kill on the Footman. Is he going to lose his Spirit Lodge? because of it. His grunts are fairly low. SH is shopping right now. Probably heal selves, speed scroll. Maybe can try to go for a hero kill. Nice blocking here with the summons of the human. And yeah, this Spirit Lodge is definitely going to finish now. And he gets another footman with another hex. He's trying to go for at least a little bit more damage, but nice blocking here with the Quill Beast. Preventing too much damage. But still, solid defense by Fly. Once more, he has really mastered this. Are we gonna be seeing an early Kodo and Berserkers? That's the question. Or, well, Headhunters they are, before Tier 3 of course. The train is coming already. The police have been called, and they are on their way. Raider sees this coming. Ensnare should not be ready yet. Oh, he's trying to go for the AM immediately. Here comes the Ensnare. It is ready, in fact. He's taking quite a bit of damage here. He doesn't want to lose the grunt, but he's going to. Ooh, that's a painful loss. Only getting one peasant in return. He also had to use the speed scroll. What's he producing in that bestiary? That's what I wonder. Come on, observer, show us. It's a Kodo beast. Alright. It is what Fly became kind of famous for. Slightly revolutionizing this matchup. Getting no boots, getting the Headhunters and the Kodo early. But now he has strayed away from that slightly. He is now getting boots. He is not getting Headhunters, but here's the Kodo. The early Kodo. What's he gonna eat? Nothing so far. He's trying to go for the towers. And the ranged units, will they be enough? Blade Master in the meanwhile trying to go for the priest. And yes, he cancels the first tower. Nothing has been killed for the orc so far. And here's also a Headhunter. So yeah, this is the famous Fly style. And easily he's getting rid of the towers. But now the Blade Master is surrounded. Does he have mana? I don't think so. Oh, it's very close. The dust comes out. The Windwalk. The Windwalk. The damage. Oh, it's so close. 30, 40 HP. 30 HP. But he gets away. He gets away, just barely, but he loses a Raider. He will also most likely lose a Grunt and a Walker. This was costly. He got rid of the towers, but he paid dearly, dearly, dearly. With lots of units dying. Blade Master gets another kill, but it's only a summon. Has to use the healing potion. Peons are in here as well. He loses another Raider, though that's level 3. That's level 3 for the Archmage. This is trouble. Level 2 Water Elementals. It looked so good getting rid of those towers, but his ground army, or his melee army, was just not that big. He eats the Water Elemental for now, and this one tower is not really threatening. It's, I think, in range of nothing. Like, of no buildings at all. So I think Fly should possibly retreat here. Go back into his base, heal up. He's now level 2. He was saving all of this mana. He was not using a single hex. He wanted to have all of the mana available for heal when he hits level 2. Now the Beastmaster is being focused. There should be another Ensnare. Where is it? Where is it? He's not using it. He has a hex, but he's not using that one either. And the guard tower finishes. But Fly keeps on pressuring, keeps on pushing. Speed scroll, here we go. Ensnare on the Archmage. Do we have an surround? No, we don't. Not really. Oh, the Blade Master needs to be careful. There should be a heal wave. Yes, there is. And there's the TP out. There is the TP out. And that is when the Orc can finally take a breath again. He has held this push. He's going to get rid of the only tower right now. But after that, probably the second push is going to be coming. Level 3 though. Level 3 for the Blade, that's also a big level. But we see Infi creeping right now. He's not gonna go for the immediate push again, and he's gonna lose a priest to creeps. That's not what we're used to seeing from world champions. Oh, he TP'd into the main! Oh, big mistake. But the Zeppelin gets rid of that mistake. But that's still 240 gold. And also a bit of lumber, and he's really, really low on lumber. So usually when you all in like this, afterwards your only options are to all in again and again and again until you either win or lose. Blade Master checking out what the human is doing. The Hawk, of course, revealing him. And the SH finding his level 3 very, very soon. And that's when things get really tough. The level 2 heal wave over and over coming in on the Blade Master, with there being no breakers to block anything. This is just pure casters. So it's really tough to keep all of that stuff alive. I think the Beastmaster is gonna hit level 3 right here. And the level 2 Quill Beasts are gonna help. Yeah, there we see level 3. And I think the Archmage is very close to level 4 himself. So that's a lot of mana regen and a lot of summons. How many walkers do we have on the other side? That's the question. We see 3 right now. That's decent. And I think that should be 50 supply for the Orc. He's coming for the Creepjack right now. Oh, and the casters are in such a bad position. Ensnares coming in. TP coming out. Who gets the item? I didn't see it. There was a Windwalk. By the way, saving almost all of his units is the human. And the item went towards the human as well. It is the Greater Healing. Very good item. Definitely worth the TP, I think. He's getting another TP. So I guess he's not gonna go all in. He's gonna try to take this late. Not sure how successful this can actually be, but he gets another consumable. If this is a Greater Invul or a Greater Healing, this is absolutely amazing for the human. But it takes time to kill this freaking Rock Golem, because all the casters can't attack it. But there's no Blade Master coming, so he's gonna get the item without contention, and he finds... This is actually important. Please click on it, Observer. Please click on it. Click on the heroes. That's where the items go. Yep, he doesn't want to show us. Anyways, here comes the fight. There is a TP on the human side. Does he want to commit? Here come all the Orc forces. And yeah, there's the TP out. I think so far nothing has died for the human. And he saves everything, so well done. At level 4, as we see right here for the AM. So I think he's going to be using a lot of invisible summons now. Yep, there we see the first one. The Quill Beast. Alright, we're shifting gears right now as the game is slowing down. Both players are creeping. That's a weird thing to say. And now we have the human creepjacking, and there is Blizzard right now. So not too much invisible summon shenanigans. And I don't think the Orc has a TP. This is actually kind of dangerous. Everything is low for the Orc, thanks to the creeping. The SH has to absolutely carry here with the heal waves. And whoa, man, look at the army. It's so hurt. I don't think he has heal scrolls. He's trying to go for the hero right away to force the TP out, but I don't think there is a TP on the Archmage. But there is invisibility to keep him alive. Here comes the speed scroll. Resetting the fight, going forward. Positioning himself in a favorable fashion. But the Raiders, again, like Focus, he's microing the Raiders around to be creating a flank. Very well done, not just stupidly on A-click. But he's being kited right now. And what looked like a very good Creepjack might just be turning around on its head. He's going for the Beastmaster, but he has a Greater Healing. The Blade Master, is he in danger of dying? Is he in danger of dying? The Spirit Link, is it enough? The heal wave, oh my god, seconds too late! Milliseconds too late! The first hero dies. Is this the comeback of Infi? He was definitely far away this game, far behind this game. The Raiders are still trying to catch up to these casters now. The Archmage in trouble, but the heal potion keeps him alive. That was the small one, not the big one. Casters actually running into the creep camp, forcing a few more ensnares out of him. And even without a Blade Master, somehow this can still be fought for the Orc. He just has so much stuff. But once there's no more heal scrolls and no more mana for heal wave, everything is gonna start dying. But he's not buying back the Blade Master. He's still fighting this with only his second hero. And of course the units. Trying to go for the Beastmaster, but of course without the blade there's so little damage output only. And this is a good position for the human. The Orc has to walk around. A lot of the units are still doing nothing, and I think Fly really has to get out now. The Blade Master shouldn't be too far away from completion. He's still at 67 supply, which is kind of crazy. I wonder where it all is. Level 4 now for the Beastmaster. He has the Thunderhawk. The greater healing is gone. Oh boy. 50 supply. And oh, Fly is forced to engage again. And this is looking bad for him. Oh, so much human stuff. There's no Blade Master speed scroll to get out, but he's losing so much even in the speed scroll. The Kodo, the Raider, the Walker, everything falls. And the next Walker for free as well. He was up at 67 just like 30 seconds ago. And now he lost like 20 supply. And got nothing in return. Infi, man. Infi coming back in this game in magnificent fashion. It was, in the end, too greedy, as it turns out, for the Orc to be creeping down there. Here we go, trying to go for the hero focus, but Infi having split-second reactions, pulling back the Beastmaster right away. Blizzard after blizzard after blizzard, hitting the battlefield. And now we have a few breakers. They are holding the line. And where's the Orc army? It's not much remaining. Trying to go for the Beastmaster. Is he finally gonna get him? Finally! Another Raider with another Ensnare is coming from the north, but no, he's not using it. Oh my god. This is the slow dwindling of death, as it seems. Everything is low. There's no more healing. The grunts, they're being kited level 5 for the Archmage. He got so much experience through all of this. Level 5 as well for the SH, but the 43 supply. And it's gonna be a lot less very quickly. These hero focuses are just not working. They're just not working. He needs to get out. He needs to get out fast, but he loses more units. Is he gonna lose the hero as well? Blade Master slowed. He's also being healed. The Sobi Mask on the SH, of course, is very good. But can it possibly be good enough? I don't know. Blade Master, is it gonna be a second death? Only inches away. Yes! He goes down. He dies. That must be it. Infi! What a comeback! Holy shit, there. He has to take a breath himself. What a game. He went for the tower push. It was thwarted. He was so far behind. But then there's this one creep check opportunity, and he grasps it. He gets the Blade Master kill. And after that, everything was just going downhill for Fly. What a series, what a game. Holy crap, that was pretty cool. Alright, so Fly loses and Infi wins. This was the matchup of the two champions. Champion of WCA versus champion of PGL. And the grid here is not updated yet. But Remind versus 120 is our Winnerbracket semi-final number 1, and the second one is gonna be Focus versus Infi. And the lower bracket, Romantic will be facing Moon, and Hihi will be facing Fly. And Fly